Welcome to The Written, a reoccurring podcast featuring student works of nonfiction, short fiction, poetry, and more. Today, Professor Matthew Brophy introduces a short piece written by his student, Kai Clark. Enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Matt Brophy, an English professor here at Delaware County Community College, and I'm going to share with you an essay that one of my students, Kai Clark, wrote for my English 100 class. This prompt for this essay asks students to share some instructions for a skill that they think they do very well, but which their audience would be unfamiliar with. Kai chose to write about how to make a great omelet, and I loved their essay for its playfulness and creativity. Kai shared the following words about why they wrote this essay in particular. Quote, I chose to write about eggs because they're widely relevant to almost every culture, and the idea of writing for someone who doesn't know about eggs greatly amused me. Though the opportunity to ramble about why I love making breakfast for my friends inspired this essay the most, I never expected it to reach an actual audience, but I'm grateful that it is because I mean every word I wrote. End quote.
How to Make an Omelet by Kai Clark. To start, you may need some eggs. First and foremost, the most important thing about cooking is to gather all ingredients and utensils beforehand. Eggs, milk, a bowl, a spatula, a pan, something to grease the pan with, and a plate. A wider spatula is good for omelets, though I've never had any trouble with narrower ones. You'll need a medium-large size pan. The circular pans that are kind of deep are the best for omelets. The sides should be at least an inch tall. Typically, omelets consist of 3 eggs, but sometimes I'm really hungry and use 4. You'll want a bowl that will hold that many eggs. Likewise, you'll need a plate that's big enough to present your finished omelet. You can put this off to the side, like on your table, while the rest of your utensils and ingredients should be next to each other and preferably next to the stove. Crack all your eggs into the bowl. A whisk is good for stirring, but a fork is good for stirring and fishing out any eggshell bits that fell in. You don't need to stir the eggs hard. Focus on breaking up the yellow egg yolks. You're done stirring when the majority of the mix is yellow with traces of the clear egg whites. After this, you may add however much milk you want. The more milk you add, the fluffier the omelet will be. For a 3-egg omelet, you should put in 2 tablespoons of milk at a minimum. After doing so, stir your eggs again. For greasing your pan, you can use cooking spray or butter, but I believe butter makes the eggs taste better. If you're using butter, cut a small wedge of it with a knife. Turn the stove on low heat and place the butter on the pan. While it melts, spread the butter until the entire pan is coated. After greasing the pan, gently pour the eggs from their bowl to the pan. You can change the heat of the stove from low to medium and then, with your trusty spatula in hand, keep watch over your omelet. When the bottom of the sides no longer look like liquid, you can start checking on them. Periodically use your spatula to separate the omelet from the pan. You don't need to lift. If it's not ready, it could break apart. Once the bottom and sides are solid, you can flip your omelet. Picking the pan up off of the stove can help with angling. Tilting the pan will let gravity help you get your spatula all the way under the omelet. After it's flipped, 3 to 4 minutes later, your omelet should be done. After transferring it from the pan to your plate, grab the salt and pepper because you should always season your food. And you're done. You've successfully made a plain omelet. The good news is that making a great omelet only takes a few more preparation steps. At the start, when gathering your ingredients, don't be shy. Adding bacon, vegetables, or cheese to an omelet can make the best kind of difference. Again, the most important thing about cooking is to prepare all components beforehand. Have them ready and have them out where you can reach, or you'll be rushing to get them while your eggs are already on the stove. Timing is crucial because eggs cook faster than you think they do. The only thing you can prepare at the same time as your eggs is toast. While this depends on how fast your toaster runs, I tend to start the toaster when the omelet sides and bottom are no longer liquid, a few minutes before I flip it. After gathering the utensils, prepare your ingredients. Cook the bacon, crush it up, and put it in a bowl nearby. Likewise, if you want vegetables. You can cook them, or you can just chop them up and place them in a container within your reach. For cheese, just keep it close by. In my experience, sliced cheese is more prominent in taste than shredded cheese in omelets. Sliced cheese is one other thing that you don't have to prepare beforehand. When the omelet is on the pan but still liquid, I rip up 2 to 3 slices of cheese, then place them into the pan. While some recipes say you should add your bacon bits / chopped vegetables / cheese into the bowl mixture, I use a different approach. This is for if you want the omelet to be a folded semicircle rather than a circle. It looks much better that way in my opinion. When the omelet is cooking in the pan but still liquid, I take pinches of bacon, bits, or a few vegetables in my hand and place them on top of the omelet. I started doing this because if I added cheese to the bowl mixture, bits would stick to the pan. During this step, you can also add pepper and salt, or any seasoning you like. If you know what Old Bay is and have it handy, you'd be surprised how great it tastes with a cheesy omelet. After adding all your ingredients, make sure the bottom and sides aren't liquid anymore. Instead of flipping the entire omelet, fold it in half and hold it in place with your spatula. When it no longer threatens to slide undone, flip it over. After 2 to 3 minutes, your amazing omelet is done. All in all, this skill isn't particularly unique. I can ride a unicycle, but I chose to write about this instead because of what it's worth. There are obvious rewards in being able to cook. What do you get out of it? You can make yourself meals. Why is learning how to cook eggs worth it? You can make meals for others. But what makes eggs so special to cook for other people? At least 3 things. They're pretty universal, they're very customizable, and in the working world of today, a lot of people skip breakfast. There's something domestically grand in the gesture of making eggs for someone, in the way they like them cooked, and if they haven't had breakfast in a long time. The gesture itself is something, and it's the reason that in romantic comedy movies, people who wake up in the morning are surprised / flattered if the other makes breakfast for them. The variety in which eggs can be prepared is a great thing. The instructional half of this essay focused on omelets because they're a little more sophisticated, but on the topic of their versatility, I'm addressing all eggs now. If someone remembers something you like, it's a sign that you occupy their mind, and it's a sign that someone cares about you if they not only remember what kind of eggs you prefer, but also go out of their way to cook them for you. Sunny side up, scrambled, boiled, poached, veggie omelet, or bacon omelet. Learning how to make a variety of eggs also gives you the illusion of being a great cook. In truth, I myself am not a chef by any means. The only thing I've mastered is eggs, and the skill of cooking omelets is something I developed by happenstance. Through these circumstances, I discovered the inherent and underestimated worth in making food for others. I learned how to cook when a spinal disc in my mom's back wasn't where it was supposed to be. Before, when I was a little kid, all I knew how to make was a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. So that'd be her Mother's Day breakfast in bed. Her not being able to stand put me in front of the stove, so I had to grow past that. And it was almost comforting. I couldn't heal her, but at least I could give her a warm breakfast. I learned how to cook bacon the way she likes it. Way too crispy and almost burnt in my opinion. I knew how she preferred her eggs because she'd always serve them sunny side up with the yolks runny. I discovered I love fried eggs and cheesy omelets with bacon bits. Most teenagers and those who work don't eat breakfast anymore. There's the idea of eating less to stay skinny, but more prominent is what's known as today's grind culture. This includes working continuously with little to no free time. This routine very often feels like there's no reward, just endless work. And the mindset of those stuck in the grind sometimes leads to the belief that they must do everything themselves, and many commodities must be sacrificed. There's a huge significance in making breakfast for someone who's sacrificed it as a commodity. It's many things at once: a gesture, a break, a feeling of reward, a reminder that they're not a machine and they deserve to eat. Like most high school students, my friends rarely ate in the morning. Maybe a granola bar, a hash brown, or nothing at all. So when they spent the night, I'd ask how they like their eggs cooked. One likes Old Bay and cheese omelets, another likes scrambled eggs, one includes eggs with her ramen, and one just likes straight up plain omelets. I'm not the best at communicating my feelings, so making them food in the morning is how I say them without words. I wish you would eat breakfast. I don't mind going out of my way for you. I consider you family. Food is sometimes considered a love language, and I wholeheartedly agree.
You've been listening to The Written, brought to you by the New Media Lab and Campus Life. This episode was directed, edited, and narrated by Felix Augusto. The author of the featured essay was Kai Clark. Professor Matthew Brophy was our guest. Our production team also includes Samuel Larson, Victoria Colbreth, and Indigo Frazier. My name is Colleen Meehan, your announcer for this episode. If you have an interest in participating in the New Media Lab, please contact us at nml@mail.dccc.edu. Thanks again for listening.